Hello, this is Roberto and this is the HVAC is my channel. Today we're going to be talking about kitchen exhaust code review, alright? So let's get into it. You're always going to be seeing kitchen exhaust in a lot of projects. So that's why it's very important to analyze the coding here. So usually what I have encountered is like in mixed use buildings, in residential buildings or just single homes, there is always a kitchen, right? So anytime there's a kitchen and then you need a range hood, so you need to install an exhaust duct, okay? So in this case, as you can see in here, we're going to be, okay, I'm going to put this in pink. So what you're seeing here is I have my exhaust duct right here. Okay, and this is the kitchen, the range hood. See, stop top. Okay, so this is the range, right here. So usually, what you have to do, and you have to coordinate with the architect, is where you are going to have the outlet. So this is the termination, and it has to exhaust to the outside. So usually, the architect combines exhaust outlets because what happens is they don't want to have like too many penetrations, too many holes. It's better to have it right in a good location. For example, this one is for the dryer. That's going to be for another video. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, again, we need to check on location. So what we're going to put in here is location. So as we were mentioning in the other video, the location is going to be Washington, D.C. for now. Washington, D.C. Okay, so for Washington, D.C., this is based on the D.C. Mechanical Code 2017. Today is 2024, so as of now, the code is 2017, which is pretty much based on IMC 2015, which is International Mechanical Code. And as I was mentioning in the previous video, you have two options. Either go to Upcodes, right? Or you can always double check in the IECC digital codes online. Okay, all right, so what we're gonna do now is, since in the previous video we checked on the ICC code online digital codes, now we can double check on the Upcodes. We can resort to that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the first one. So let's go here. I'm gonna put my first code for kitchen exhaust, and that's gonna be code table, or not table, or section 403.3.2.3. Okay, so that's gonna be again the local exhaust. Okay, so for the local exhaust, what is the code requesting to do? Okay, so now let's check on that. We're going to use in here Google. Then let's go here, and then I'm going to have here Google. So under Google, we're going to check Upcodes. So what we're going to do in here is Upcodes, what is it, IMC 2015, and then we're going to put 403.3.2.3. There we go. All right, so in here it says chapter ventilation number 4. So this is Upcodes, and this is for Connecticut. So actually Upcodes, we should put in here Washington, D.C. Okay, so for Washington, D.C., we're going to have this. Okay, Washington State. Okay, no problem. So in this case, this IMC is the one that is making some trouble. Okay, Upcodes 403, Washington, D.C., chapter ventilation. There we go. It says D.C. Mechanical Code 2017. So our first code is going to be on section 403. The section 403, it says mechanical ventilation. And if we click in here, we're gonna go to number 3. Number 3 says outdoor and local exhaust airflow rates, like we did in the previous video, like the bathroom, right? So now we go here and then we check on this section number 3. Let's go checking here. All right, where's the table? There we go. We have a table. Okay, so this is what the code requires, and again, depending on the location. And if you don't have location, you can always do your analysis based on the International Mechanical Code 2015, 2018. Okay, and you can always check your local jurisdiction. You can double check with them, hey, which code is applicable in here. Code is important, right? Because you want to pass permit, you want to get a permit for construction. Okay, so we have a local exhaust, so which is a dedicated exhaust for the kitchen, right? So in here it says, as in the previous video we were analyzing this too, it says it tells you in this code that what is the minimum airflow rate. Okay, the minimum airflow rate based on these group types occupancies are for kitchen, we're going to have 100 CFM for intermittent or 25 CFM for continuous. So what I've seen in usually the buildings that are old, they usually have continuous, but usually I've seen this intermittent a lot. So what we're gonna do is for kitchens, you need 100 CFM of intermittent exhaust or ventilation. So at least 100 CFM. So we saw in the other video it was this, right? Okay, and also, you know, just as another extra material, extra source, this Upcodes is very helpful actually. And if you want to get a demo, they will give you a demo of trying it out for a week or 2 weeks. I don't remember anymore. I think it's 2 weeks. And then the benefit with that is you're going to be able to see these diagrams, and these diagrams are actually very helpful. So I'm not sponsored by Upcodes or anything. It's just like I like sharing material to the designers, to the contractors, because that's the way we get better. Okay, all right, so now that we know this, I'm gonna put that in my in the video and as a summary, minimum ventilation rate. So what we're gonna put in here is just like minimum ventilation rate, okay, based on code. Minimum ventilation rate is gonna be the following. So I'm gonna put this in yellow, and this is gonna be how much was it? Was it 20 and 100, right? So this is 25 and 100. There we go. So this is gonna be 25 and 100, 25 and 100 CFM, which is, this is gonna be 25 CFM. This is continuous, and then we're going to have 100 CFM, which is intermittent. Okay, perfect, excellent. Okay, so now we have the minimum ventilation rate. Now what we need to do is we need to check what type of hood are we gonna have in here. Usually what we do is we have type 1 hood. So let's double check on what is a type 1 hood. So for that, I'm gonna go here to another code section, which is, I'm gonna put this in parentheses. And why am I making these videos? Because what happens is sometimes when you're doing a design, you need a resource that to go check quickly on codes, but you're not going to be reading, right? So this is like a summary. So at the end of the video, you know, this is going to be all completed, and you can always check on the video or take a screenshot. Okay, this is like a summary, right? Oh, the code section is this, the code section is that. So it's also helpful for me too. Okay, so now let's go check on this section. This is going to be section type of hood 507. Okay, 507.2. Okay, so this is let's go check on that code. Okay, that section is going to be in here 507. Let's go to 5. So chapter 5 is exhaust systems. Okay, number 7 is commercial kitchen hoods. In this case, we're not talking about commercial, we're talking about residential and domestic. So those are two different things. So I'm going to put in here, this is going to be domestic kitchen hood. Let's put in here domestic. Yeah, domestic kitchen hood, but the chapter or the section is about commercial, but we're talking about domestic kitchen hood. We need to check on this because just to have a more deeper definition. Okay, so this is going to be 507. We go to section commercial kitchen hoods, we go there, and then once we go there, 507, we're going to go inside. Let's go, there we go. We have general, we have type 1 hoods, type 2 hoods. So we're going to go to type 1 hoods. And what is a type 1 hood? So this is going to be, okay, 507 to type 1 hoods. We're going to put that in here. Okay, type 1 hood. Okay, so this is going to be type 1 hood. Okay, let's put in here type 1 hood. This is just for our reference, okay? So let's go here. What's a type 1 hood? So this is going to be installed for cooking appliances that produce grease, right? So if you're cooking eggs or anything fried, of course that's going to produce grease because you have, like, you know, your oil, olive oil, you're cooking. So this applies to that type of hoods. And also, or a smoke, of course you're going to create a smoke as a result of the cooking process. So that's the definition. So there are 3 types. We have medium duty, heavy duty, and extra duty. Okay. So also there's a diagram in here, but there's an exception in here, electric cooking. So see, a type 1 hood shall not be required for an electric cooking. And honestly, in Washington DC, they are going there's an electrification process. So they are going green. They are removing gas, not removing gas, but for new construction buildings, they only want electric. They only use gas for emergency generator because it has to be a different type of fuel, right? So most of them are going electric. In New York City, the same thing. They are going all electric. So in this case, a type 1 hood is not required for electric cooking appliance. See? Where approved testing documentation that the appliance contains 5 milligrams of listing grease and exhaust flow rate of 500 CFM. And this has to be UL 710B tested. All right, and you're going to have more information in here about extra heavy duty, just to read a little bit more. Type 1 hoods, grease to be or otherwise. Okay, so in this case, what we're going to have in here is type 1 hood. So we're going to have heavy duty and everything else. Okay, so I'm going to put in here in my summary the following. Okay, so this is going to be, we have type 1 hoods, we have medium duty. Okay, we have medium. Okay, medium. We can put medium, heavy, and then we can put extra heavy, heavy duty. All right, so also actually we have in here light duty too. Okay, so what I'm gonna do in here is I'm going to delete this. Okay, so delete. Okay, so I'm gonna add in here light duty too. Heavy and light duty. Okay, so that's the code. Okay, for domestic kitchen hood, type 1 hood, we have that. However, for the types of hoods, we need to check on this other section. Okay, I want to go little by little because I don't want to confuse anyone. So for the type of hoods, we go to the International Mechanical Code, and then let's go checking here. I'm just double checking very quick. It's called capacity of hoods. So we're gonna put in here 507, okay, 0.5, and this is called capacity of hoods. Okay, so basically what happens in here is we need to know from this medium, heavy, extra heavyweight, the CFM per linear foot of a hood, canopy hood, or the type of hood. Okay, so let's go check to the capacity of hoods in the code section. Okay, so we were here, let's go back in here to the code section. All right, okay, so we were here, type 1 hoods, right? Now we have type 2 hoods, different applications. Now we have hood size and locations, but now we're gonna check on this actually, capacity of hoods. Okay, so in the capacity of hoods, you're gonna be able to find out our extra heavy duty, medium duty cooking appliances, and then light duty cooking appliances. Okay, so in this case, what is a light duty, what is medium, what is heavy, and what's extra heavy? So if well, the good benefit of using online and web sources is like you can always go hover over and it's going to tell you the explanation what is considered heavy duty. So it's always better to be efficient. Okay, so what is extra heavy duty? If you hover over here, it says extra heavy duty. As you can see below, see in here, if you can see below, it says extra heavy duty cooking appliances are those utilizing open flame combustion of solid fuel at any time. So it's extra heavy duty. And you can see in here the CFM per linear foot of hood. So in this case, for a single island canopy, it's 700 CFM per linear foot. Okay, so what is this? These are the types of hoods. So single island canopy is the most common. So we're gonna put in here single island canopy hood. Okay, hood. So it pretty much looks like this. Okay, so we're gonna here see like this, the most common. So we're gonna go to images. See, this is the single island canopy hood. So for example, this one, right? So this is single canopy island hood. Okay, there we go, different applications, something like this. See, all right. Okay, so now we're gonna go back and then we're gonna have for the what's heavy duty. For the heavy duty, go look down here. It says heavy duty cooking appliances. It's gonna be for include electric under fired broilers, electric chain broilers, gas under fired broilers, different applications, right? Mostly for commercial, actually, heavy duty. Okay, and then you have the CFM per linear foot of hood. We're gonna go to medium duty. Medium duty is gonna be the following. So include electric discrete elements like range or without oven, electric gas, hot tub ranges, electric griddles, pizza ovens. Again, medium duty is more like our case, but our case would be more like light duty cooking appliances. So in this case, we have what is light duty cooking appliances. It says includes gas and electric ovens, baking, roasting, revolving, retherm, convection combination, convection steamer, countertop. There's a lot of variety. Okay, but what we need to know is the CFM per linear foot by code. So for a single island canopy, we have 400 CFM per linear foot. Okay, that's code. However, what you have already is that once you select the manufacturer, they will tell you what is the maximum CFM, because as HVAC mechanical design engineer or contractor in the HVAC field, I need to know how much CFM I do, because for example, if you have this in here, how much CFM am I considering for this exhaust? Because I need to do balance. I need to make a balance of this, or I need to know if I need makeup air. So in other words, I'm gonna put in here in my summary capacity of hoods. It's gonna tell me, yeah, it provides in here. It provides CFM per linear foot for each type of hood. Okay, for example, I'm gonna put in here example. So for a single island canopy, single island canopy, we need here, we need 400 CFM per linear square feet. Okay, but that also depends on, I'm gonna put this as white, what type of application. This is gonna be, for example, for light duty cooking, light duty. Okay, that's the example of the capacity hood. Okay, but now let's go check on what we need, if we need makeup air or we don't need makeup air. So in that case, we're gonna go here to the next code section, which is pretty much, okay, we're gonna put it on this side. So let's put it in here. So that's gonna be 505 0.2, and that's going to be makeup air required. Okay, makeup air required. And this is actually very important because I'm gonna tell you, one time I went to a resort in Mexico, Cancun. So what happens is the commercial kitchen had all exhaust. Okay, so they are complying with that, but there's no makeup air. So in other words, when we were trying to get inside of the commercial kitchen, we had to pull the door, but there was such a big vacuum. We had to put extra force to open the door, so because there's no makeup air. So that's why makeup air is required. So we're gonna go here and then go back to the code section. Let's go check 505.2. So we're gonna go 505.2. Let's go here, 505, domestic kitchen exhaust equipment. Okay. Domestic kitchen, and then it's here, makeup air required. Okay, so that's the other section. It says exhaust hood systems capable of exhausting in excess of 400 CFM. Where are you going to get that number? You get that from the cut sheet, from the specs that you are gonna install in your construction project, right? So you need the maximum airflow, maximum CFM. So it says if you have more than 400 CFM, it shall be provided with makeup air at a rate of equal to the exhaust air rate. Okay. And then also let's double check on this. Such makeup air system shall be equipped with a means of closure and shall be automatically controlled. This is gonna be, okay, this is more the controls, okay? Controlled to start and operate simultaneously with the exhaust system. Okay, so interlock, okay, there we go. Simultaneously, so it should be interlocked with the exhaust system. For example, anytime that this works, the makeup air unit works too, okay? So that's the makeup air required. So what I'm gonna put in here in my summary, it's gonna be the following. So I'm gonna put this in yellow, and that's gonna be 400 CFM. So more than 400 CFM, okay, requires makeup air. But you're going to get this from the cut sheets. Okay, so now let's go check on the cut sheets. So where am I going to find that? So let's go check on General Electric, okay? So we're going to go here, General Electric. Okay, so if you go to General Electric domestic hoods, see, range hoods. Okay, so we're going to be able to see the CFM. That's what we need to check. So now we know what these hoods, now we know what types. So in this case, what we're gonna do is let's go check on one of the hoods. So for example, see, this is 320 inches, 36 inches. So let's check on this one. For example, this one. It says under the cabinet hood, we have this. It says General Electric 30 inches, $390. Let's click in here. Okay, I need the CFM. So let's go see the CFM. Okay, this is how it looks. Specs and details. So if we go to specs and details, it says accessories, appearance, economical, quiet, and everything, venting. Okay, features, CFMs and sound ratings. So the sounds are is related to how quiet it is. Okay, so now CFM, the maximum is 310, and it actually has 4 speeds. See, boost, high, medium, low. So in this case, we're going to have, in here it says, oh, there you go, fan speed control. You have 4 speeds, okay? So in here, the maximum is 310. So 310, you don't need makeup air. But if it's more, yes, you need makeup air. So yeah, that's an example. See, maximum CFM, 310. So you're going to be able to find this CFM. So we're going to put in here, okay, so put in here, obtain maximum CFM from cut sheets. Okay, so from cut sheets or specs, cut sheets / specs of hood, okay, of the kitchen hood. All right, so there, for example, I have another example. I have some cut sheets. Sometimes you ask this to the architect. There's another branding here, see, wrench hoods. So you can always download this online. So performance that is fast, wrench hoods. So you're gonna be able to see in this catalog a lot of information, but I'm interested mostly in the CFM. So for example, you have a wrench hood in here, and then it says in here, see, maximum blower CFM, you have 650, so you're gonna need makeup air. And then below here, another type, you have maximum blower 575, you need makeup air. 800, you need makeup air. So most of them you need makeup air. See, this is more industrial, possibly not industrial like commercial, but see, maximum 400 CFM, you need makeup air. So they give you different options. See, you have the type, you have how the installation is, you have everything. Duct size internal 8 inches, you already have everything. All right, okay, so we have all of that. And now another part of the code, because this is actually very long, you need to comply with the outlet terminations. Yes, and that's going to be the last part of the video. Okay, so we're going to put in here as a summary. So let's put in here the section. Okay, so that's going to be section 506.3. Let's put 0.13. So the title is going to be exhaust outlets. Let's put exhaust outlets. And of course, this is going to be for type 1 hood. Type 1 that we know already, hoods. Okay, so we're going to go check on that in the mechanical code. So we're doing right now Upcodes. So what do we have in here? It says, there we go. We have duct serving type 1 hoods, and we're going to have under 13. There we go. So this is going to give you like what are the distances where you have to locate your outlet, because that's also very important. You cannot have your exhaust outlet near an air intake. For example, if you have an outside air intake and you have an outside exhaust outlet, they have to be separated at least 10 inches, I mean 10 feet. So if you read on this in deeper detail, you're going to be able to find everything. So in here, for example, it says exhaust outlets serving type 1 hoods. Okay, so in here, if you're going to terminate above the roof, for example, if you have a house and the kitchen, for example, for some reason is on the second floor, and then above that you have the roof, it's better to exhaust it through the roof. So if your exhaust is on the roof, it says the exhaust outlet shall terminate above the roof at least 40 inches above this roof surface. So you're gonna have to exhaust it above 40 inches. So that's what the code reviewer checks a lot. So you need to comply with these requirements. For example, if you're gonna do exhaust on a side wall, you're gonna be able to comply with this requirement. See, shall not be located within 3 feet of terminations. Termination locations, see 10 feet of horizontally continuous. So there is a lot of requirements for the terminations, but it's a very good idea just to double check on this. So we're gonna put in here as a summary. We're gonna put in here, let's put in here like this. Okay, so in here we're talking about termination. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here. I know this video is becoming longer, but this is going to be the last part, termination. So for the terminations, we're going to have like terminations through the roof, sidewall. Instead of sidewall, we can put exterior wall, but let's put sidewall. Okay, and then you're going to have like in here termination, roof, sidewall, and you're going to have another code that's based on locations. All right. So it would be a very good idea if you guys, if everyone checks on this, if you guys give it a more read, see? Yeah, so this is very important actually, especially in design. So you have all this information, but once you are designing, you can always take a screenshot of these relevant codes, and then you can go deeper and deeper. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.